We start with a game, week 9, which I never would have picked this game.
Yeah.
If you would have given me the whole slate of games to pick of which one we'd be starting this podcast with, it probably would not have been Dolphins and Cardinals.
No.
But they have two of the most intriguing young quarterbacks in football, Tua Tagovailoa and Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
We got a lot of questions on this one, too. Pete was good about getting the homies' responses.
Cool.
So I just want you to... So I think it was almost a disservice to Tua to have him play in this game against Kyler. Because you watch Kyler.
Yes.
And he is so dynamic.
Right.
And such a great runner. Like, no one can compare. And so as good as the game was for Tua.
Yes.
Like, I wonder if it just didn't look as good because Kyler is so amazing.
Well, I will, to your point, and Tua had played really well. He's got a lot to be proud of. But you're right. I mean, Kyler is just so special. And, you know, Tua had all these great runs, but when they're in a highlight package next to Kyler's great runs, they just don't look that good.
Right.
Because Kyler's are like look really good for a Pro Bowl, all-pro running back to where you just go, man, nobody can get that guy in space. Nobody can accelerate through a hole like that in football. Like, nobody. So that's where it might take just a little bit of the luster off of Tua's performance, but I don't think it should by any stretch of the imagination. And I mean, with the Dolphins offense, we're going to start there, right? You want to start Tua?
Let's start with the Dolphins offense because
right.
we got a question, Sport Lover 2010, and you'll get into this, I'm sure. But he
Yep.
said, what did you see from Tua this week that showed you that he could become a superstar in the league? And where do you see room for improvement for him? Because
Sure.
It's not like you weren't gushing over him in the draft.
I got
You
my
had
questions.
Herbert over him. You had Burrow over him. And
Right.
At one point, you had Jordan Love over him, but then you kind of reconsidered and put Tua above him.
Yep.
So you had concerns.
Yes.
After watching this game, do you still have the same concerns that you had then?
Well, I do a little. I do. It makes me feel good about what I saw yesterday. It certainly does. I mean, I'm rooting for Tua. I know people think just because I had him ranked certain places that you don't root for those guys. I'm not like that. It's purely a football assessment.
You've met him. You like
the
him,
guy
right?
Tua is. How can you not root for him? How can you not? And he's coaching a team that, I mean, he's quarterbacking a team that I really like too. So I've known Brian Flores since I was in college. So I'm rooting for them. I'm not like no ill will at all. Do I still have questions? Yes. But did I see things yesterday that go, okay, that makes me feel better? Definitely. I mean, the first thing I would say, listen, let's just talk about the negatives. He's not real big. He hasn't have to make a ton of throws in the drop-back pass game yet. It's been 2 games. This was really the first game we've had to really evaluate because last week was such a defensive showcase. So, hey, it was a good start. I'm not going to be like, oh, all right, I know what he is now. Let's go. Let's lock it up. He's good forever. Here we go. We don't have to really, scrutinize him ever again. No, I would like to see more. But I think between the way he looked, the grittiness, the toughness, the understanding of the game, too, and realizing what he was being asked to do, and also realizing, hey, my defense is pretty good, and they'll hang in there. I don't need to take chances or do anything stupid along those lines. I think that's the first thing you can take away as positives. Now, the other positives, hey, his movement, it's real. And again, it's not Kyler Murray like 3 rockets up his ass type movement where he can just fly, but his ability to move around the pocket, make some throws with his feet in awkward positions, and then his throwing on the run is really top-notch. And, I mean, to really break it down, that's all the game boiled down to, okay? Really, on their side of the ball, it was a good game plan, not only to win the game against the Cardinals, but a good game plan to, again, help their young quarterback flourish. They did 3 things throughout the game, really. And this is screens, a few screens here and there, which is, hey, every quarterback should have a few screens. It's nothing against him. Bootlegs, right? They did that. They tried to stay somewhat patient with the run, but they really only wanted to run the ball so they could run bootlegs with him because that's a safe thing for a young quarterback, and he's good at it. Oh, wait, hey, guy in the flat, boom. Oh, here comes guy in the flat's not open. Here comes the crosser, 12, 15 yards down the field. Boom, hit it. Oh, wait, neither one's open. Well, maybe I'll run and get a first down. Oh, wait, I can't do any of those 3. Throw it away.
Did he do that in college at Alabama?
Yeah, they definitely did. They did a little maybe more out of the shotgun and things like that, where yesterday they got underneath the center a little bit. But then that, and then to me, what one of his best attributes, and this is something I saw in college that I love, his ability to throw goes and fades down the sideline. That was really all they did. Screens, boots. Oh, it's one-on-one? Tua, throw the ball to him. Go ahead. It's Preston Williams. We like our matchup. Oh, it's Devontae Parker. We like our matchup. And he always throws the appropriate football. I think that's where I like. Oh, the guy's got him beat. He stretches him out. Oh, the guy's ahead of him. I mean, the defender's in front of the wide receiver. Oh, he throws a little back shoulder. Oh, it's kind of even. He can loft it up, just like we saw in the touchdown pass or a few other passes to Preston Williams on go balls, to put it in the spot where it's like, hey, my guy should get this. He's a big receiver, and we'll see where it is. So from that, and then a few of the runs we saw at the end of the game, and just the playmaking ability in a big moment, I think that's what's exciting.
Yeah, those runs, if he was playing against Phillip Rivers, would have looked a whole lot more impressive.
Yes.
You go like, wow, he can do something that other quarterback can't. And it did seem like on a couple of the big plays, even the runs. You know, I think there was one early in the fourth where he spun the wrong way and then snuck through the line. You're like, if you were to do this play again, like 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to work out as perfectly as it just did on some of those runs and some of those passes.
Yeah, sure.
But there was one thing, and tell me if you agree, at the end of the first quarter, I just saw a couple passes with him where it looked like he was going through his reads like super fast. It was like boom, 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 like to his third receiver pretty quickly. And so like the confidence in the pocket to be able to go through the progressions like that in your second NFL start.
Yeah, no, he's very poised that way. The game is not too big for him. He's been coached at Alabama. So he's not like, you know, oh gosh, deer in the headlights syndrome and, you know, the game's moving so fast. Not at all, you know. And again, like I said, there wasn't at first a lot of like what I would call big time pocket passing throws. But as the game went on, he got more and more comfortable and really saved, I thought, some of his best throws of the day for when it mattered the most. That's really where I would look at it. You know, there was a 3rd and 9 on his own 8-yard line at one point. He's got a curl route to his right. He's got a little pressure in his face. Patrick Peterson's got tight coverage on Devontae Parker. He knows, oh, man, there's somebody coming free. I'm going to have to throw this a little quicker than I want to before this guy comes out of the break. You know, throws a strike, appropriate pace on the ball, all those things. You know, it was little things like that, you know, later in that drive, too. And this is the drive where I believe they go on it's 31-24. They go on the 93-yard drive. I mean, it's the game right here. It's the fourth quarter. Cardinals are on the cusp of, you feel like, controlling or taking over the game.
Yeah.
Wow, we've pinned Tua, this rookie quarterback, back in his own end zone, and he makes a few plays like that. He had an unbelievable scramble on a 2nd and 4. And, you know, that was really some of the most impressive thing about what he did throughout the day, let alone the last drive of the game to set them up for the field goal. One of the first throws of the game, his first throw of that drive, little corner route to Gesicki. Beautiful throw. Has 2 under routes. Gesicki's got man-to-man, throws it out there, right on the money. So when I saw those things, that started to make me feel really good.
Yeah,
because that's going to be the pressure was highest. Hey, the bootleg game, the screen game, no, it's not going to work at this point of the game right now, right? Because you're not really running the ball. You're behind. It's late in the fourth quarter, and you're going to have to make pocket plays in the pocket. And he did that, and I think that's what you can be really excited about.
How about the Cardinals D? Did they make things a little easier for him?
Well,
they haven't. I mean, Patrick Peterson's been up and down lately. And
yes.
He's supposed to be your shutdown guy in the secondary.
What I would question, right, and you've heard me do this before, rookie quarterbacks, why give them the one-on-ones so much? That would be my question just to take away from the game is like, hey, Arizona, he's a young kid. You know, make them read defenses, make them look at coverage. Instead, there was too many times where I feel like they just laid it out on the silver platter. Hey, look, it's your great receiver, man-to-man. I mean, hey, now you don't have to think. Just drop back. Oh, I'm going to throw it up to him. My guy's better than yours. You know, I wouldn't have taken that approach so much. Arizona played them like they were playing the Baltimore Ravens at times, where I want to be like, wait. I want to be like, Miami can't run the ball. Why are you so all in on let's stop the run so he can throw bootlegs and play actions? That would be the one thing I would question. But other than that, you know, they took the approach of we're going to blitz him and we're going to pressure him and do those things. And I just think that's the wrong approach. You've heard anybody that's listened to my podcast, and I think the numbers are starting to bear that out when Pete and you guys look things up. Just these rookie quarterbacks blitzing, it's a 6 years ago thing. They've been blitzed in college. They've been blitzed in 7-on-7 in 7th grade. They've played too much football. It's not a big deal anymore.
They can get the ball out.
They can get the ball out.
The
They're not flustered anymore by that element.
They almost would rather do that because the game's moving so fast for them. It's like,
it makes it easy. That's what I mean. It does. It makes it easy. It makes you pull the trigger. It just goes, wait, I don't have to think. I don't have to read this side. Let me just take the one-on-one. Oh, wait, he's blitzing me. I got to make a quick decision and throw the football.
Right.
And there's an easy throw there or safe throw. And that doesn't always help the defense out that way, but nonetheless, really good game plan by Chan Gailey, and then great job by Tua getting his first win and some clutch throws and runs there in the end.
What do you mean they can't run? Selvin Ahmed, the only player in the league named Ahmed, 7 carries, 38 yards. Come on, that's a pretty good average.
Big day there, yes, and he got half those yards on one carry, I believe, in the first early on in the game.
And then Tua was their second leading rusher with 35 right there.
Yeah.
So they win the game. They get the treatment of talking about them first, but Kyler Murray, probably the better quarterback in this game, even though Tua played great.
Yeah, right.
Kyler Murray and Christian Kirk were hooking up, 123 yards for Christian Kirk. It was huge. It was huge. What did you see from Kyler in this game?
He's phenomenal. I don't know what else to say, really. This game was interesting. They ask so much of Kyler Murray. The offense, a lot of what they are as a team, is all about Kyler Murray. It really is. I'm sorry, I don't know any other way to say it. The offensive schemes, the passing schemes, their ability to run with non-Kyler Murray runs is all very average to me. He is their great advantage.
He's bailing them out?
To a degree, I would say. Yes, I would say he's certainly, I don't want to say bailing out. Maybe that's not the right phrase. But I don't sit there and watch their pass offense and go, whoa, people are open all over the place. This is fun. Kyler Murray's just wheeling and dealing. And I don't sit there and go, whoa, their run game, man, do they do some stuff? And they blow people off the ball. No, not at all. A lot of their pass plays, hey, is Kyler Murray making plays off schedule? A lot of the rushing yards, they're the number 2 rushing team in football. And a lot of that is because of Kyler Murray scrambling. Now, what was different about this game, and where I'll give Cliff Kingsbury a lot of credit, is true quarterback design runs. We saw some Baltimore Ravens, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, shotgun pulling guards in front of the quarterback, stuff that you don't see really Arizona do a whole lot. They've been reluctant to do quarterback design runs with Murray. They might run the read option, right? Okay, guys are getting too antsy. He'll keep the ball around the edge, get 20 and slide, right?
But not like this is you're taking the ball.
You're running the ball. We're going to pull the guard, and we're going to pull our backside tight end, and we're going to lead you up through the hole and gash somebody.
We see the Ravens do that all the time.
The Ravens do it all the time, right. But this was new to them. I mean, this was like a once-in-a-while thing. This was part of their game plan yesterday, let alone another interesting thing on the stat sheet. 25 for 70 for Chase Edmonds. I've never seen them be this patient with the run game in all their lives. And Cliff Kingsbury, I give him a lot of credit because I think he realized, wait, I can't play my normal shotgun spread offense versus this team. I think he realized they're too well coached. Brian Flores is good that way. And then they're too talented. We're not going to win the matchup by just throwing the ball every play. So I think he had to get into the run a little bit to save himself from pass protection.
So what about the runs at the end here, though? Aniket Tolpati says Arizona on last 2 drives, running back run on the 4th and 1, and second to last drive, 2 straight runs after that strike to Christian Kirk on the last drive. Why wouldn't you want the ball in Kyler's hands with the game on the line? So that's the balance you got to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like you want to establish the run, but you hope at the crucial moments that you don't take the ball out of your most dynamic player's hands.
I know. Well, there was a lot of crucial moments he had the ball in his hands to run the ball.
Sure.
So, at times...
It may have been set up by some of those, by the fear of the run.
It definitely is. And I think a lot of their offense was set up by the fear of the run, not only between the tackles and things like that, but, hey, when they got too pass-heavy and spreading the field out and everything, there wasn't people open. And then Flores started messing with them a little bit with these all-out pressure looks that he got McVay and Goff with last week. Hey, the strip sack fumble that gave the 7-0 lead. It's the same blitz that they gave issues to Goff with last night. last week. It looks like they're going to bring everybody. It's 6 guys at the line of scrimmage. Only 4 came, 2 drop out, but they still couldn't block everybody because they were worried about those 2 guys that dropped out. They thought they were blitzing. So now they're 1 short off the edge. Kyler thinks he can run. He's got somebody open for the first down.
Yeah.
But he kind of gets greedy and thinks he's going to run outside. And I believe that was Emmanuel Ogbah strip sacks him, and then Shaq Lawson picks it up for the touchdown. But I think that would be my big takeaway of the game more than anything. The patience with the run with Cliff Kingsbury, and it allowed them also to have some play action passes that I don't see them do all the time, right? That's not really part of their offense. And I hope this is something going forward, because I think realistically, if they want to be a player in the NFC, it can't just be Kyler Murray, shotgun spread, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, and we're going to throw it 45 times a game and beat you. They're not going to beat the good teams in football that way. They're not. So I did like the aspect of the design runs and the running back runs. It just didn't work out in their favor in this football game.
Second most rushing attempts by any Cardinal in a game under Cliff Kingsbury.
There you go. I would figure.
Only the second running back in the NFL to have 25-plus carries in a loss this year, James Robinson for Jacksonville. It blows up that stat. You remember, usually it's that stat, like if your running back runs 30 times a game, you win. It's like, well, yeah. No,
yeah, well.
No, duh.
No, duh. Right, exactly right.
What did you think? This is from Shavar James 22. He really enjoyed seeing what Kyler did, even though he was super bummed at the end of the game and was very disappointed in himself. He said, was this the best you've ever seen Kyler play in this game? Where would you rank this of games that you've seen Kyler play in? Good defense. A good defense and a good secondary.
It's a really good secondary. And because of him and his skill set, he took them out of some things that they want to do. Like I was just talking about that all-out blitz pressure, right, and those things they did. There's 2 plays that ended that. Brian Flores, there was the deep post to Christian Kirk for the touchdown, right, the 56-yard touchdown pass. That was that same blitz that caused the strip sack fumble.
Yeah.
It was the same one. So they make it look like it's an all-out blitz. They're kind of trying to pressure you. They got people there for the short throw because you think, oh, blitz, I got to get it out. But they did a good enough job to pick it up, and Murray slid away from the one guy that was free to now, hey, there's Christian Kirk, deep post, wide open, Byron Jones. There's no way you can cover that route if the quarterback has that time when you're playing this type of defense. He does that, and then later in the game in the third quarter, there was like a 3rd and short, and they showed that blitz again, and they called the quarterback design run. And Kyler Murray was this close for turning it up for a touchdown. He ended up getting like 15 or 20 yards. But I think when Brian Flores saw those 2 plays, he was like, okay, I've had enough of that blitz. I don't know what else they got in store for me today, but if he makes another throw like that or makes one guy miss, we're going to be in deep trouble.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of Kyler Murray. He puts so much pressure on a defense and what they can call and can't call, because he's so dynamic.
Which is probably why they don't need to do a whole, or maybe haven't thought they need to do a whole lot of play action.
You're right.
Because you don't need to slow down any rush because they're already freaked out.
Right. I think the biggest thing that I would love to see them continue with the play action, and one thing that I think continues to arise when I watch Arizona and break them down, is their inability to throw the ball down the middle of the field. They don't throw the ball down the middle of the field. They're one of the least in all of football.
Yep.
You've heard me say, like, McVay, you're going to play Garoppolo, right? Take the middle of the field away. Make them throw outside. They never throw outside. With Kyler Murray, it's almost the exact opposite.
Is that a problem?
I think at some point somebody's going to catch on to it, because I think they're going to realize, and there's so many plays in this game, and I can even say the Detroit and Carolina game, which is the 3 losses, right, where, I don't think he can see down the middle of the field. I think that would be the first issue. So if there's big people at D tackle and they put their hands up, there's a number of times every game where I go, ooh, throw it. But I don't think he can really see it. He can't have it all.
Yeah.
He's got just about everything else, but he just doesn't have an extra 6 inches like a Tom Brady or whatever.
Right.
And that's what hurts him in that aspect. But the play action passes, of course, what does that do? It brings the linebackers up a little bit, and then it gets him a lot of depth usually behind the line of scrimmage to open the field up a little bit. And now, I'm way far away from the pass rush. The linebackers came up a little bit, and now I'm 5'11", but I feel good about the middle of the field, and I'll throw the ball. And I think that's one reason they should continue to stay patient with the run.
That makes a ton of sense. 3 quick hitters before we wrap up this game.
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins, 3 catches, 30 yards.
Yeah.
Drew some pass interference flags.
Yep, that's right.
So was that his effect in this game? Did the Dolphins do anything to take him out of it?
No, but, I think those are some good corners there.
Yeah.
And I do think that Flores had a pretty good feel for what they wanted to do in this pure drop-back pass game. And it just didn't lend itself to his day. But because they're paying so much attention to him and things too, sorry, but that's why Christian Kirk, you see him wide open on the last drive going down the middle of the field and the other touchdown and all that. Those are the factors of DeAndre Hopkins getting a lot of attention.
And we found out in the offseason that Dolphins Twitter, very vocal.
Oh, well, they don't like me.
Pete was responding to them left and right. It became one of the most vocal fan bases because of where you ranked Tua in your rankings. So Mac Daddy 35 Mac said, just got to thinking, I wonder if Simms still has Stidham ranked above Tua in his top 40, thinking he might want to amend that list, #Fins up. So he has indicated his bias in this whole system.
Well, that's fine. And, of course, yes, he's in front of Jarrett Stidham at this point. Yes, he definitely is.
We haven't seen Jarrett. I mean, he hasn't had a chance to prove himself.
No, and again, I'm rooting for Tua. I know people think just because I ranked him at 38 or didn't love him. Listen, I respect the human being to where I won't root against him.
Yeah.
But let's calm down before we start calling him like the best quarterback in football or something like that. Let's just continue to evaluate. It's really a good start. And yeah, trust me, I thought about it. I think about all my rankings all the time. I'm always thinking about it because I know people are going to come at me or even give me props in either way, and I want to be real
You're right. That is that MoCon19 said, everyone relax. Let's give him a 3-year sample size before anointing him after 2 games here. So he has your back.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So, okay, what you saw in that game,
right?
If he continues at generally that same level,
right?
Where does that rank in the Chris Simms 40
quarterback?
Well, where does that put him about?
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to continue to play like the way we saw here, he's
20s?
Yeah, I think so. I think, maybe early to mid-20s if he continues to do what I saw yesterday. Accurate intermediate throwing, playmaking ability off schedule, managing the game the right way. Yes, all those things are awesome, definitely.
Yeah.
But this is where I would just say everybody pump their brakes. The formula is very simple to this point as far as their offense is concerned. And, after 2 games now, people are going to be able to watch this a little bit and go, wait, boots and screens, a team that can't run the ball, you're not doing that shit against us this week, all right? And then it's going to be, let's see where he goes from there. And I think it could still be, I'm not saying it's going to be negative. I'm just saying their formula will be caught on, and he's going to have to continue to develop and take, the next step in all other phases to, keep people off their back.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.